This video was made possible by Good Better Best Tuition Services. Please subscribe to this channel for the latest videos. Today we are going to be covering our second lesson on percentages, which is about percentage increase and decrease. Let's look at this example. Increase 400 Rand by 20%. Now in the previous lesson, we discussed that 20% is the same thing as 20 over 100. Now in order for us to increase 400 Rand by 20%, we first need to work out what that actual amount is. So what 20% of 400 is. Let's do that. So we say 20 over 100 times 400 over 1. Now we've discussed cancelling before, and you know that you can cancel in the bow tie method. We can say that 100 goes into itself once and it goes into 400 4 times. Now that we've simplified, we can multiply numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. That will give us 80 over 1, or simply 80 Rand. Now that we've worked out the Rand value, we need to add the two numbers together. Therefore, 400 increased by 20% is 400 Rand plus 80 Rand, which is equal to 480 Rand. Let's do another example. Example 2 says that we must decrease 642 Rand by 35%. What's our first step? We need to write the percentage as a fraction over 100. Now we know that we can simplify using the bow tie method. We can simplify down and down, or across and across. Okay, following that method. So let's simplify. 5 divides into 35 7 times, and it divides into 100 20 times. Does that simplify any further? No, but we see that 2 divides into 20, and it also divides into 642. So let's do that. So 2 divides into 20 10 times, and it divides into 642 321 times. Does anything simplify further? No. So what do? We multiply numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. 7 times 321 is 2,247, but we are still left with a denominator of 10, and 2,247 Rand divided by 10 is 224 Rand and 70 cents. What do we need to do with that information? We need to add it to 642. And when we add the two numbers together, we get 866 Rand and 70 cents. Now let's look at a more complex example. A major retailer is having a massive sale. A television is selling at a discounted price of 25% off its original price of 7,000 Rand, and a cell phone is selling at 30% off its original price of 5,500 Rand. What will the cost of the two items be altogether? So what's the first step? Our first step is to write 25% as a fraction over 100. What do we do now? We simplify. So we can say that 100 goes into itself once. Okay, so that zeros will cancel, and it goes into 7,000 70 times. And what are we left with? We are left with 25 times 70. What is 25 times 70? Let's work that out. That gives us 1,750 Rand. So the television is selling at a discount of 1,750 Rand. What will the cost of the television be? It will be 7,000 minus 1,750 Rand. So the cost of the television will now be 5,250 Rand. Let's work out the cost of the cell phone. Again, we simplify and we can say that 100 goes into itself once, it will go into 5,555 times. And 30 times 55 is 1,650 Rand. What do we need to do now? We need to subtract and say 5,500 minus 1,650, and that gives us a price of 3,850 Rand. Did we answer the question? No, the question states, what will the cost of the two items be altogether? So we need to add these two values. 5,250 plus 3,850 is equal to 9,100 Rand. That will be the cost of the two items together. Thank you for watching with us, and then if you need tuition in Maths, English, Afrikaans, Physics or Accounting, we are based in Lotus River, Cape Town, and we can help. Please feel free to contact me on the number on the screen. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.